So let me share. So why accounts receivable is more important? Account receivable help me to understand when I'm going to encash my product, when I'm going to generate return on my product, and indirectly it is give me idea that when my money will be getting back. So basically I'll get an idea how the revenue generation and its repercussions on my purchase and all other things. So in case of receivable management, my most important thing is less realization period and maximum payout period. So if I understood when money is going to receive, I can better plan or schedule the things. For any business, cash flow is lifeblood. The creditors, the workers, the production cycle, these all will not work if there is no supply of money, because ultimately all these are working money as motivation. So if I plan my flow of money in a particular way, then that will benefit to understand how I'm progressively analyzing and developing, because it is always a growth constraint if I'm not following the flow of money. Suppose I'm planning to do certain activity which is in more profitable way, and if I don't have money, take example, money is something where I cannot I cannot exchange or go the other way. So my growth is important. Then in case of money, there is always operational risk. What I'll do is I will have to manage my operations in a such a way that it is generating profits. And hence I need to manage my operational risk and understand the flow of money. If I do not manage my flow of money, then possible alternatives and opportunities will be lost by me. So, when I'm planning my future receivables, I'm indirectly planning for my expenses, because if I plan receivables, I can also understand how the schedule of receivables will affect my expenses. If I know how much expenditures are available out of my inflow, then I can plan better. And when I can plan better, if any good opportunity or options available for growth, I can easily encash if I manage my cash flow. So basically, when I say receivable management, I'm managing my cash flow, which is giving benefit to me for long-term growth and association. The scale of challenge. Suppose my cash flow is of 30 days. It means I'm receiving money in 30 days. My product is sold in 30 days. My debtors are paying 30 days money back. Then I can easily pay my creditors after 45 days. So my creator will be happy, my debtor will be happy. I'm getting raw material in time, I'm getting money in time, so I can pay the salaries and dues. So indirectly, when the flow of money is in particular way, it will always help me for managing my expenses and plan for options. Now let's understand what is risk associated with account receivable. Now first, account receivable has different components. The first component of account receivable is debtor, second creditor, third bills payable, fourth inventory, and fifth is factory. Now, inventory is not a direct component of account receivable, but most of the time, the need of inventory is a basic reason why I need planning about account receivable. Debtors and creditors, these are two individuals. The debtors are those people who borrow money from me, and sorry, debtors are those people who taking goods on credit from me and they are using these goods for certain period and paying me after some due date. So that period of returning or repayment is most vital because if I sold the goods on credit instead of cash and that person give me after 1 year, then my business will not have funds till 1 year. So in that case, my business will be at loss and at risk. So if I want to run the business in more profitable way, I need to ensure the money received is within shorter period and it is going to help me always. Whereas if I talk about creditors, creditors are mostly suppliers or lenders who give the money to me and they are using this money for certain period and paying me after some due date. So so let's talk about how these debtors, creditors, and payments are creating risk. There are three risks associated. One, credit, second, payment, and third is collection. Now, the credit risk is talking about is risk that poor management will create as an impact and it will affect the goodwill, it will affect the value associated with my reputation and honoring the payments. The best example of credit risk is if you do not make payments on time, then your CIBIL scores are affected. If your payments are delayed, it will give an indication that business is in loss or the person who has borrowed money he is incapable of returning, and since he is incapable of returning, the assumptions are made that he will not able to survive in the market and people start neglecting him. They lack in confidence about working. For example, if you get an option to work with Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani, Anil Ambani is involved in many frauds in bank loans. So if I get option to work with Mukesh, I'll be most happy because I'm sure his credit risk is less. He will repay me. But if I work with Anil Ambani, I'm doubtful that whether my salaries are honored. So considering this, it is always a great challenge for me to understand how much money I'm receiving and paying because that will associate it to my goodwill and market creatability. Secondly, when I want to schedule the payments, I should know how much money is coming in. If I cannot schedule the payments, then my payments will lapse and the credits are go higher and higher. This higher credits will always create a risk and this will be loss for me and my organization. So in case I'm not able to manage my payment schedule, then I'm stagnant and I will be taking call based on how much risk I'm taking. So if my payment is delayed, it incurs it will make an impact about my reputation. Second, it will attract penalty. And most important, if if I'm dishonoring the payment, the person who is honoring the payment will always make a question and doubt why he should give me credit. Because if I'm not paying in time, why he should provide me trade discount or cash discount? Because it's always risky for payments. So when my receivable is not managed, then my payment cycle is disturbed. I may be become defaulter. I may require to pay the penalty and I lose the opportunity to claim the discounts. So indirectly, credit management is very vital and important if I want to have a reputation, good credit score, and getting more benefits as a worthy repayment schedule. Then, when I talk about collection risk, in case of collection risk, the people observe that I'm a defaulter for payments, my payments are not scheduled, then they will also take advantage and whatever the payments they are having, they will try to postpone it because they know that I'm in process of insolvency. So why to pay? Instead of keep on posting, and the postponement will help them because I'm not able to take actions because I don't have funds, and the delay in payments will be benefited to them. Secondly, many times these traders want extra discounts because I want money. Instead of 45 days, if I ask somebody to return the money in 30 days, he will ask me that earlier you are given 45 days, now you are claiming 30 days. So please give me money back. So if I approach somebody to pay the early, he will definitely ask to give the discount more and I'll be lost. So in case of collection, default payments, postponement, and more. Let's move further.
Real world impacts. If my product is has issue about payments, then the customers will be creating concerns about repayment schedules and it will make an impact. Secondly, the suppliers will be in doubt, so they will not give me any discounts. Rather, they will ask me to pay immediately, or they will lack the trust in my organization, so they will approach to the other people, and my supply chain may get disturbed. When I'm not managing my account receivable, middlemen or the salary employees, they will be always on us. So either they will stop working two times. Account receivables is a collection failure resulting in disturbing cash cycle. This cash cycle creates a virtual disturbance that the person who is managing business is taking risk of dishonoring payments, delay payments, and lack of opportunities, and he will be facing a great challenge that he is not able to honor the payments, he is not benefiting the opportunities, and he is always challenged on creativity. So we need to manage account receivable properly. Let's talk about what are the internal controls for accounting receivable management. Now, internal controls means how I manage internal creativity so that my funds regulation is possible. So, if I have proper control, proper regulation, and proper documentation, then I can keep a track or check that whether my payments are received on time. If I receive the payments on time, then I can also schedule my expenses or liabilities repayment on time. So, concern to this, I need to manage my receivables and payment schedule. The first thing I can do is invoice generation. Invoice is a bill or a statement where when I dispatch I need to mention what will be mode of delivery. I'm going to mention in invoice what are the terms for getting the product. So invoice is summary of product, the taxation and delivery schedule. It will also mention the condition that how much advance payment required, how much part payment required, or what are the schedule of payments. So while preparing invoice, I will take cognizance that how much is amount involved and Uh, Due to the power cut, fluctuation in internet is there. So let me reshare again the screen. We talk about what is meaning of account receivable, and let's talk about continue talking about internal control. The second internal control, I will go with record keeping. I have to maintain a strict record in print mode or in mode which is feasible for my control. I have to ensure to maintain proper training to my staff about account receivable. I have to help them to develop their skills to manage their task of debtors and creditors independently. I have to train and update them time to time regarding my account receivable. And most importantly, I should train my staff for cash handling, procurement, and pay. I have to ensure maximum creativity is enjoyed by business. So when I'm dealing with the cash, I have to make sure that minimum holding is there and maximum reinvestment of the funds is done. So in case I need training, I need segregation, I need to authorize and properly schedule their responsibilities about funds management, receivable management, sales, distribution, so I need to ensure the deliveries are made, they are using the proper accounting and they are following the benchmark which is set by the organization or as per the market, which always beneficial to them. If suppose I have sale of 1 lakh rupees and I forget that I need to recover, then my data will be happy because I'm not making any query. I'm not doing follow. If he intend to take the advantage, he may always take understood that this person is not having proper records. He is not going to ask me about returns, and hence he will take the advantage and he will follow the dodging due dates, and I will be in trouble. In court of law, if I don't have evidences about a particular act, then I may not able to challenge the available things. So if I want to challenge about my payment schedule, I need to take care the payments are made in time. Secondly, in court of law, when I required justification about delay in payments or intentions, I need to prove the documents or same. If my documents or lack of consistency, and they are not able to give the assurance to the creator that payments will be made in time, then even though I will not be able to make my payment. So I have to ensure the payments are made in time. I need to ensure invoice is prepared properly, and I have to ensure the things that if I'm able to manage my resources, if I'm able to train the people, if I can motivate the people, then only I can do the things. Uh, I request host to allow me to share the screen because the screen sharing permission has gone. Now let's talk about credit approval and its documentation control. If any customer is approaching for credit sale, that is, instead of paying now, he want to pay it after 10 days, I need to check his creditability. I need to check his reputation. I need to understand whether he is a regular customer or occasional customer, the quantity purchase. Then I will check his financial scores. I will understood his balance sheet and his creditability, whether he is paying in time or whether he is dodging the payments for other suppliers. And how much is issued. Similarly, if I have to reduce the risk, then time to time, the internal audit of my records, my process should be conducted. I need to which will be more better control and less documentation, enabling me better receivable management. When I'm managing my receivables, the first thing I need to is plan my rescheduling. I had to ensure that what are the due dates, then I need to understand which payment is first, which payment is second, what are the installment dates, if the first installment not paid, when I can remind. So first thing I need to do is schedule the payment. I need to understand the mode of payment. I need to understand when I should give remind. For example, normally when check payments are there, 3 days prior, I issue a notice that your check is going to be deposited after 3 days. Please keep the money available. If I fail to give the reminder, it might possible the person will not keep the funds and my checks will be dishonored. If the check dishonored, then I'll support a penalty and my payment schedule will be disturbed. Secondly, if any person is continuously dodging the due dates, I need to issue him warning and talk to him and restructure the payment schedule because if the payments are dodged, it is hampering my structure of working. Secondly, I am getting a penalty of dishonor of check and it creates my liability issue because if I'm not receiving the payment because of other person fault, then my structure and creativity will be questioned. If the mode of payments are electronic and it is directly deposited into my accounts, I always need to reconcile my bank accounts and keep me updated whether the payment schedules are honored. For each activity, even if I'm making payment or receiving payments, I need to keep a track. For example, it's online, then I need to keep a track of online payments and my bank balance. If it is offline payment, I need to take a track of proper receiving of funds. I need to ensure compliances about the funds, their date of payments, defaulters repayment schedule, and their restructuring if the continuous repayment is delayed. Now, we understood that if I manage my funds properly, then I can schedule my expenses and schedule my work properly. So, even though I provide training, I provide guidances, I provide revision, I always am concerned about the repayment schedules. So, let's understand some of the best practices to improve account receivables. The first thing is automation. The best thing what I can achieve is automation. I can simplify the process of repayment by introducing automation. I will have electronic reminders, sending SMS, WhatsApp, or email. What are the feasible possible solution? And considering this, I need to understand how I can make proper reminders or note to any person that I can earn the income. Secondly, I need to ensure the proper payment gateway because if I need to have payments, the payment gateway should not charge too much to me. The payment gateway should ensure proper transfer of funds and in quick time. If I want the benefit of proper system, then I need to talk to my payment gateway person and clear my terms of payments and also ensure that he has ability to manage my transactions. The best method is I should keep physical track of electronic payments or automation because it will always help me cross-check the transactions digital. And most important, I should create a periodic backup of all my digital payments so as in future course of action or in a legal dispute or any transactional delays, I can take help of these digital backups and justify me in the court of law. So I maximum talk about how I can manage receivables in terms of data. But if I can manage in terms of creators, I can achieve discounts. I can achieve cash discount as well as trade discount because if I'm a regular payments, I'm honoring the payments in time. My suppliers or money lenders, they will not be expecting any discounts or any more discounts in terms of cash or credit, and that will benefit to me. Communication. Clear communication follow if I want to have proper account strategy. If my documents are clear about payment schedule, the penalties, and structure of payment or mode of payment, it will always give upfront hand to me to ask for repayments in time. Secondly, if my repayment policies are stringent and strictly observed, then issue of disputes will not be there. Sometimes, if the payments are delayed or payments are issued, and if the communication is not complete, then it creates a confusion, and this confusion may lead to legal dispute and unnecessary loss of goodwill and trust for supplier. So the communication is very important. Again, this communication is also important for data because if I fail to make the reminders, then the reminders lapse will also be advantage to my data not to pay in time. If I set the proper SOP, that is standard operating procedure, it will always reduce my recovery cost and it will help me consistent repayment scheduling and honoring all the dues which I need to pay for creditors. The best thing for clear communication and consistent policy is a proper training to my staff and timely update about different tools, methods, and associated conditions about sale. Now, we talk about what are the amendments, what things I can do, and how account receivable is important. Any doubts so far? Okay, let's talk about let's talk about managing accounting receivable performance. Now, why managing is important? Because if I'm able to manage, if I'm able to control, I'm regulate, then my performance is enhanced. If there's lack of control, lack of channelization, and lack of initiatives to track my performance, internal and two are external. The first performance which I am managing is my internal performance. It is divided into a training part, documentation, and funds allocation. We have discussed a lot about training, so talk about fund allocation. I need to analyze the funds available. I need to analyze the proper allocation of funds. I need to understand that the rationing of funds is done in such a way that whatever the need I have, I am able to pay for same. I need to ensure that activities are prioritized as per their emergency or their ranking, and based on prioritized activities, the funds are allocated. So, when I'm planning, I need to first plan and prioritize my activities. Then, if I need to do rationing of funds, then I need to ensure the funds are allocated and available as and when required. The second thing, when I allocate a fund, the audit or verification of the process should happen. Given for the purpose are utilized for same purpose. If the utilization of funds is not for same purpose, then it is not benefited. Then I need to ensure if the funds allocated, they are properly utilized, they are documented, and they are reviewed as and when they require. So first, I will ensure about funds. Second, I will go about documentations. What are the funds allocated, used, or paid, whether the track record is kept, whether schedules are followed, whether they are authenticated by said procedure, whether they follow the laws which are concerned and related. I need to ensure. I need to make sure that they are approaching the particular standards and benchmark in documentation, the proper signing, the proper detailing, and proper dates and endorsement is available for each document of my payment. After this, I need to also ensure that if payments has to be made, then the payments are in sequence. Unnecessary payments of liability, which is not required or which can be postponed or which is not legal, is not allowed. So I had to ensure that I'm making payments, I'm keeping the records, and I'm doing audit that my payments are scheduled properly. I am maintaining my documents about payments properly, and it is being verified time to time. The third internal thing is important, that change in policies of payments. Even though my payments policies are consistent, I need to ensure that they are updated time to time. They are followed time to time. Then in external control, it is the same thing I need to do about documentation, about rescheduling, and about keeping the track of activities for daters and for creators. I need to issue a thank you note, a welcome note, a reminders for my account receivable. I should able to manage my available data in a such a way that things are generated and benefited more positively and more equitably. I need to analyze the data. I need to manage my data and ensure that things are generated and benefited more positively and more equitably. So so we just talk about the account receivables. We talk about how it is important, how I can manage, and so on. So any doubt the points which I covered today? Unfortunately, due to the light, I was not able to share the screen and meeting was on and off. So next session, we'll continue the discussion of account receivables. We'll talk about what are the technical methods and documentation methods to control the account receivable and how it influences. Then we'll talk about managing inventory, their levels of inventory, and flow of inventory. Once we finish understanding the account receivable process, the factors influencing and documents, then we talk about inventory and managing inventory. Then we take discussion about debtors. Luckily, for your examination, they are strictly mentioned that there is no numerical on working capital. So this chapter will be having theory, and so we are more giving stress on theory. Once I finish this unit of advanced financial management, we will focus on solving numericals simultaneously. So the next sessions, which we begin after the SIRA, I suggest to carry your notebooks so that numerical practices are feasible for me. So far, any doubts about meaning of account receivable, its types, its controlling, and its process? If any doubts, please post in chat box. Okay, I revise again. Account receivable is the process of managing my resources, scheduling my payments and receivable in such a way that will give me boost and help to sustain and survive in the market. Account receivable is a crucial activity, requires a lot stringent action, discipline, and scheduling of various activities for payments and receipts. Account receivable is a goodwill creation in terms of payment scheduling and managing other activities. So when I'm managing account receivable, indirectly I'm managing my activities in more efficient way because this will help to plan my activities, this will help to plan my payment schedules, and this will help to plan my expenses and future expectations. So account receivable is very crucial part for every business to talk about. It always deals with four domains: control, document, predict, plan, and follow. And this always creates a well generation indirectly. So that's all for today. Any doubt? you can post it chat box, or you can just share me via email. Or if you feel no doubt now and you want to ask it again next session, you are most welcome. So let's end this meeting, and thank you all of you, those who have joined. It's general reminder that tomorrow I want everybody to submit their OGT reports and field projects with all compliances. Please carry your student diary while submitting your OGT reports, and those students who is not attending online sessions, they need to take permission from directors. So thank you all of you. Wish you wonderful time ahead.